Hello students, in today's lecture we are going to learn about thermal properties of matter. NCERT section 10.1 to 10.4. This is disclaimer. Strategy for competitive exams. Understand concept thoroughly. Master the fundamentals of heat, temperature and thermal properties, as these topics are basic building blocks. Clear understanding of thermal expansion in solid, liquids and gases. Grasp concepts of specific heat capacity, latent heat and calorimetry. Understand heat transfer mechanisms like conduction, convection and radiation. Alright. Recommended books. Visit our website forum.puta.ai to get the suggestions of books and guidance. Learning objective. By the end of this lecture, you will able to understand the concepts of temperature, heat, thermal equilibrium, temperature scales, gas laws and ideal gas behavior. Alright. So, in today's lecture, we will cover first 10.1 introduction, then 10.2 temperature and heat, 10.3 measurement of temperature, 10.4 ideal gas equation and absolute temperature. So, first introduction. So heat and temperature are concepts we experience daily. How? Like feeling hot or cold. Yes or no? If we talk about in simple terms, so temperature tells us how hot something is. Like we have a hot kettle and we have a cold ice. So we can say a kettle with boiling water. A kettle with a boiling water is hotter than ice. Alright. So this is hot and this is cold. The temperature of kettle is high as compared to cold ice. Now the important point here is this: heat and temperature are related, but distinct concepts describing thermal energy. Both heat and temperature are scalar quantity. Alright. In this chapter, we will explore the concepts of heat, temperature and the various thermal properties of matter. So, the key concepts addressed. First, how to measure temperature. We have a different scales of temperature: degree scale, Kelvin scale, Fahrenheit. How does phase of matter change when heated or cooled? So we have three states of matter: solid, liquid and gas. So when we heated any substance, or we can say when we heated any solid, liquid and gas substance, there will be some changes. Third, what are the modes of heat transfer, like conduction, convection? Yes or no? Alright. So temperature and heat. Temperature. If we talk about the temperature, so temperature is a measure of average kinetic energy of the atoms and molecules in a system. Alright. Suppose we have a container and in that atoms or molecule are moving randomly and vibrating. So their average kinetic energy, the measure of average kinetic energy, tell us temperature. Or we can say it is a relative measure or indication of hotness or coldness. Here we have three liquid level. First cold, second warm, third hot. If we talk about the cold, so this is represented by blue thermometer with a low liquid level, and this indicating a low temperature. Yes or no? If we compare between cold, warm and hot, so blue liquid level, this one have a this one blue thermometer have a low liquid level, and that indicating low temperature. If we talk about the warm, so this is represented by yellow thermometer with medium liquid level, and this indicating a moderate temperature. But this yellow thermometer have a higher temperature as compared to blue thermometer. Alright. Third one, hot, and represented by red thermometer with a high liquid level, and this indicating a high temperature. Here hot red thermometer have a high temperature as compared to warm and cold. Alright, so this is the relative measure of hotness or coldness. So this tells us temperature. Alright, so next is heat. If we talk about the heat, so heat is a form of energy and it transferred between two systems or a system. So suppose we have a two system A and B, and heat flowing from system A to B. So heat is a form of energy transferred between two systems and its surroundings by virtue of temperature difference. So here heat flow from A system to B system. Yes or no? As a system A have a higher temperature as compared to system B. System B has have a lower temperature. That's why heat are flowing from body A to body B. SI unit of heat energy is joule, represented by J. Suppose you have a hot spoon and cold water. When you put hot spoon into cold water, you feel like spoon becomes cold, as there is a transfer of energy from spoon to cold water. So this is the flow of heat. Alright. Another unit of heat is calorie, CAL. Now there is a difference. Yes or no? Yeah, there is a relation between joule and calorie. So 1 calorie is equal to 4.186 joule. This is the relation between calorie and joule. Or 1 joule is equal to what? 1 joule equal to 1 divided by 4.186 calorie. Alright. Thermal equilibrium. If we talk about the thermal equilibrium, so suppose we have a two body A and body B, and two bodies A body and B body at temperature differences T1 and T2 respectively. Here T1 is greater than T2 and they are brought into thermal contact. Alright. Now heat will flow from body A to body B because the temperature of body A is greater than temperature of body B, that is T2, and gradually their temperature becomes equal. So when the temperatures are equal, it means T1 is equal to T2, heat flow stops and the bodies are said to be in thermal equilibrium. So this is the important concept, thermal equilibrium. Alright, the temperature of both body A and body B are equal. So this is the condition of thermal equilibrium. Zeroth law of thermodynamics. This is also important concept. So let's see the statement. Zeroth law of thermodynamics states that two systems in thermal equilibrium with a third system separately are in thermal equilibrium with each other. So suppose we have a system A, B and C. Alright, A, B, C. Now if A and B, body A and body B is in thermal equilibrium. Similarly, body A and body C have in thermal equilibrium. Then according to zeroth law of thermodynamics, body B and body C must be in thermal equilibrium with each other. This is the zeroth law of thermodynamics. Alright. Measurement of temperature. So we have a different instruments to measure the temperature, like a thermometer. So basically a thermometer is a device used to measure temperature. Alright, like a liquid in a glass thermometer, this one, like electronic thermometer and infrared thermometer. Alright. So common types of thermometer. So first, liquid in glass thermometers. So it utilizes the expansion of liquid like mercury or alcohol as temperature increases. So suppose let's think. Suppose we have a liquid in glass thermometer. If the temperature increase, there is an expansion of liquid that tells us the temperature of given body. Second, electronic thermometer that employ sensors like thermocouples or resistance temperature detectors to measure temperature changes and display the reading digitally like this. Alright. Third is infrared thermometers. So measure temperature by detecting infrared radiation emitted by an object. Now the important point here is this, a laboratory thermometer. So a laboratory thermometer is a scientific instrument used in laboratories and similar environments to measure temperatures of substance and materials. Alright, so these are the three common types of thermometers: liquid in glass thermometer, electronic thermometer, infrared thermometer. Common scales, common temperature scales. So first is Celsius scale. If we talk about the Celsius scale, so ice point, or we can say lower fixed point, is 0 degree Celsius. In Celsius scale, steam point is 100 degree Celsius, also called upper fixed point. And 0 degree Celsius means freezing point of water, and 100 degree Celsius means boiling point of water. Alright, in upcoming lecture we will discuss freezing point and boiling point. Second scale of temperature is Fahrenheit scale. So in Fahrenheit scale, the ice point is 32 degree Fahrenheit or steam point is 212 degree Fahrenheit. This is, or we can say, lower fixed point and upper fixed point. Alright. So there is a difference, that is 212 and 32. We can say 180 degree Fahrenheit. Third is Kelvin scale. If we talk about the Kelvin scale, so lower fixed point is 273.15 Kelvin, or we can say ice point, and upper fixed point is 373.15 Kelvin, or we can say stream point. So this is the comparison of Kelvin, Celsius and Fahrenheit, or we can say common temperature scales. Alright. Let's see the relationship between Fahrenheit temperature TF and Celsius temperature TC. So on y-axis, this is temperature in degree Fahrenheit. On x-axis, the temperature in degree Celsius. Now here in Fahrenheit, the lower fixed point is 32 degree Fahrenheit and upper fixed point is 212 degree Fahrenheit. So difference is delta TF is 180 degree. Yes or no? Now if we talk about the degree Celsius, the lower fixed point is 0 degree Celsius and upper fixed point is 100 degree Celsius. The difference is 100 degree Celsius, 100 degree. Mathematically, if we write it, so it will be TF minus 32 divided by 180 is equal to TC divided by 100. Alright, when we solving this, the relation is TF equal to 9/5 into TC plus 32. It means if we have a temperature in degree Celsius and we want to calculate in Fahrenheit, so just put the value of TC and multiply with 9/5 plus 32. You will be get TF. Alright, TF means temperature in degree Fahrenheit and TC means temperature in degree Celsius. Alright. Gas laws. So first law is Boyle's law. So Boyle's law states that a gas pressure and volume are inversely proportional. Mathematically, pressure is inversely proportional to volume, and this is the graphical representation. On y-axis pressure, on x-axis volume, and this exponentially decreases. Pressure is inversely proportional to volume. Volume is increasing, pressure decreasing. If pressure is increasing, volume decreasing. Both are inversely proportional to each other. So it will be PV equal to constant. Alright, and this relation is very important. Second law is Charles' law. So it states that the volume of a fixed amount of gas, means gas is fixed. So volume of fixed amount of gas is directly proportional to absolute temperature when the pressure is kept constant. So here volume V is directly proportional to T and pressure is constant. Mathematically, V is directly proportional to temperature, so it will be V by T is equal to constant. Alright, this is the Charles law, and this is the graphical representation. On y-axis volume, on x-axis temperature. Volume is directly proportional to temperature. P1, P2, P3 and P4 are straight line. Alright. Third is Gay-Lussac law. So it states that pressure of a gas is directly proportional to absolute temperature. when the volume is held constant. It means the P is directly proportional to T. So pressure is directly proportional to temperature and volume is constant. So graphically, look at here. On y-axis pressure, on x-axis temperature. This straight line shows that pressure is directly proportional to temperature. If temperature increasing, pressure also increasing. If temperature decreasing, pressure is also decreasing. Alright. So it will be P by T equal to constant. Next law is Avogadro's law. It states that equal volumes of all gases at the same temperature and pressure contain same number of molecules. This means that for a fixed amount of gas, volume is directly proportional to number of moles or molecules when temperature and pressure are kept constant. Mathematically, volume is directly proportional to mu. Here V is volume and mu is number of moles. Now, according to Avogadro's law, here volume is equal for all gas and pressure and temperature are constant. So it will be V by mu is equal to constant. This is Avogadro's law. The important point here is this: low density gases obeys these laws, which may be combined into a single relationship. And that is ideal gas equation and absolute temperature. So ideal gas equation, let's derive it. So we know Boyle's law, that is volume is inversely proportional to pressure, temperature is constant. Pressure increasing, volume decreasing. Pressure decreasing, volume increasing. Next law is Charles' law. So volume is directly proportional to temperature, pressure is constant. If temperature increasing, volume decreasing. Temperature decreasing, volume decreasing. Third is Avogadro's law. Volume is directly proportional to number of moles. Alright. Now, using all the three equations, Boyle's law, Charles' law and Avogadro's law, we have volume is directly proportional to mu T divided by P. So, to remove proportionality sign, there is a constant and that is R. So, it will become PV is equal to mu RT, and this is ideal gas equation. Alright, ideal gas equation, where R is the universal gas constant, which has a value of 8.314 joule per mole Kelvin. Real gases follow the ideal gas. The condition is pressure should be low and temperature should be high. Alright. Constant volume gas thermometer. So, constant volume gas thermometer is a highly accurate device for measuring temperature. This one is a setup for measuring accurate temperature. It consists a bulb of a constant volume, this one, filled with a low density gas like hydrogen, helium or air, and this is connected by a tube to a manometer. Alright, this one, this is the manometer. Manometer measures pressure. Manometer measure pressure. When a temperature of a gas in a bulb changes, its pressure changes. Alright. This change in pressure caused difference in the mercury levels. It means there is a change in pressure. If there is a change in pressure, the mercury levels will changes in two arms of manometer. Volume of the gas is kept constant by adjusting the mercury level, and volume is constant here. So this is just only a accurate. It is a just measuring device to measure accurate temperature. All right. Difference in the mercury levels gives the pressure of the gas. So by calculating the difference in mercury levels, we will get the pressure of the gas. Since pressure is directly proportional to absolute temperature, pressure is directly proportional to T as per Gay-Lussac's law at constant volume. So the temperature can be determined by measuring pressure. From this equation, pressure is directly proportional to T and the volume is constant. So we can say using the pressure we can determine the temperature. Alright, constant volume gas thermometer. Now this is the pressure versus temperature graph. When plotting pressure versus temperature for a low density gas at constant volume, a graph is a straight line. This one. If the line is extraplotted, this is extraplotted line, minus 273.15 degrees Celsius, extraplotted backwards, it cuts the temperature at minus 273.15 degrees Celsius regardless of the nature of the gas. Alright. Now, relationship between pressure and temperature for three gases A, B and C at constant volume. So suppose we have a three gases, gas A, gas B and gas C. Alright. So first is the important point here is absolute temperature, absolute zero. So absolute minimum temperature for ideal gas is inferred by extrapolating a straight line. Extrapolating straight line to the temperature axis, this one, where pressure would be theoretically becomes zero, is found to be minus 273.15 degrees Celsius. So this is the absolute zero temperature, and we can determine by extrapolating straight line of the gases A, B, C. This temperature is designated at absolute zero, which is equal to 0 Kelvin. Alright, we know Kelvin is also a temperature scale. Ideal gas behavior. So in figure 10.3 demonstrates that for low density gases, if the density of the gas is low, there is a extrapolating, their pressure temperature leads to same point on the temperature axis, indicating a universal absolute zero, minus 273.15 degrees Celsius. Now we know three temperature scales: Kelvin scale, degree Celsius and Fahrenheit. So on Kelvin scale, minus 273.15 degrees Celsius is taken as a 0 point, or that is 0 Kelvin. Unit of Kelvin scale is Kelvin, denoted by capital K. The size of unit in Kelvin and Celsius temperature scale is same. Look at here. Upper fixed point in Kelvin 273.15 Kelvin, and lower fixed point is 273.15 Kelvin and upper fixed point is 373.15 Kelvin. The difference is 100. Similarly, the difference is 100. relationship between Celsius and Kelvin. So suppose we have a temperature in degree Celsius and we want to calculate in Kelvin. So it will be temperature in degree Celsius plus 273.15 Kelvin. Alright. So where T is the temperature in Kelvin scale and Tc is degree Celsius. Now summary. So first is heat is energy transferred between systems due to temperature difference, while temperature measure average kinetic energy of particles. Heat flows from lower temperature until thermal equilibrium is reached. Heat flows from to lower temperature, higher temperature body to lower temperature body. Alright, until thermal equilibrium is reached. The zeroth law states that Zeroth law of thermodynamics states that if two systems are in thermal equilibrium with a third system, they are in thermal equilibrium with each other. Thermometers measure temperature using thermometric properties that change linearly with temperature. Common temperature scale like degree Celsius, Fahrenheit, degree Fahrenheit and Kelvin scale. Boyle's law. So Boyle's law states that pressure and volume are inversely proportional. PV equal to constant. If pressure increasing, volume decreasing. Volume increasing, pressure decreasing. Charles law. So Charles law states that volume is directly proportional to absolute temperature at constant pressure. V is directly proportional to T. Gay-Lussac's law states that pressure is directly proportional to absolute temperature at constant volume. It means pressure P is directly proportional to T and temperature is constant. Yes or no? Volume is constant. Alright. Avogadro's law. So it states that equal volume of all gases at same temperature and pressure contain equal molecules. It means V is directly proportional to mu. Ideal gas equation combines these laws. PV is equal to mu RT. So when we combine Charles law, Gay-Lussac's law, Avogadro's law, Boyle's law, so we will get ideal gas equation. PV is equal to nRT, where R is universal gas constant. P pressure, V volume, mu number of moles, R constant, T temperature. Constant volume gas thermometer uses gas pressure as thermometric property. Absolute zero is minus 273.15 Kelvin degree Celsius or 0 Kelvin, where gas pressure theoretically becomes 0. Kelvin temperature in Kelvin is equal to temperature in Celsius plus 273.15. It means this is the relation between Kelvin scale and Celsius scale. So temperature in Kelvin is equal to temperature in degree Celsius plus 273.15. Alright. So this is the important relation. Now we have a practice question and this is homework for you. First, convert 25 degrees Celsius to Kelvin temperature. Here you have to find out the Celsius to Kelvin. Second is, if a gas occupies a volume of 2 meter cube at 300 Kelvin, what volume will it occupy at 600 Kelvin at constant pressure? Alright. So here you have to find out the volume. Next is, a gas has pressure P1 at 300 Kelvin. What will be its pressure at 150 Kelvin if volume remains constant? Fourth one, convert 98.64 degree Fahrenheit to Celsius temperature. So here you have to find out the temperature in Celsius scale. We know the relation between Celsius and Kelvin. Fahrenheit and Celsius? Yes or no? So just use the formula and solve it. If if PV equal to 600 Kelvin, so 600 Joule at 300 Kelvin for 2 moles of an ideal gas, what is the value of universal gas constant R? So we know PV is equal to mu RT. So just put the value and you will be get the answer. All right. Thank you for your attention.